If you've ever thought, I just want to make money from home, but the only time I have to work is at night, you're not alone. But here's the problem. Most work from home advice that you're going to find here on YouTube are going to explain jobs that you actually need daytime working hours to do, whether that's spending time on client calls, Zoom meetings, or having set aside office hours. And that's really just not a reality for a lot of people. When I first started in the online space, I was actually pregnant, about 8 months pregnant with my son, and I had an almost 2-year-old at home. And realistically, some of the only solid working hours I had were at night. So in this video, I'm gonna show you 20 real work from home jobs you can do completely at night. Let's jump in. So I'm gonna set the premise here that this video is probably unlike other videos that you've seen online. A lot of work from home videos are sharing links to job sites where you may be getting, 8 to 10, maybe up to $15 an hour with some kind of a work from home side hustle, making money for another company. When I was looking for work from home opportunities, that was not a really viable option for me. It wasn't worth it to me to make only $8, $10, $15 an hour. When I was already so exhausted at the end of the day, that money just wasn't worth it to me when I knew that I could make more. And of course, the idea of like those pay-per-click surveys, I mean, come on. So after trying several side hustles, I'm talking like buying jeans at thrift stores and trying to resell them online, or buying textbooks and trying to resell them. I tried to resell a lot of things, I guess. None of them really made me significant money until I discovered the world of online services. Because here's the thing, guys, small business owners will pay you real money. I'm talking 30, 40, 60, up to $100 per hour. And these are all tasks that you can do at night or even on the weekends. Okay, so these 20 remote jobs are going to be services that you can offer to a small business owner. Now, I'm gonna go over what all the services are in detail, but if you stay to the very end of the video, I'm gonna be sharing with you how you can actually create these services into packages and sell them to small business owners. You're gonna wanna stick around to the very end. The 3 buckets of services are administrative services, creative services, and specialized services. Let me share with you first some of the administrative services. Now, when you're thinking about administrative services that you could offer to small business owners, a lot of times what you're gonna wanna think about is offering these all at once, or picking and choosing your favorite of these services and then putting them together in a general virtual assistant package. Here's what that package may look like. So you may sell a package of 20, 40, or 80 hours per month. And you can see that breaks down to about $30 per hour. What's so cool about this is that when a small business owner purchases one of these packages, you're not just getting a $300 a month package. If that small business owner stays on with you for an entire year, that's a $3,600 package, right? Because 300 times 12 months. Hopefully I did my math right. So you can see how this is compounding, and that's for just 2.5 hours per week, right? If you go on to work 10 hours a week, or 20 or 40, or even build a team and have hundreds of hours a week happening, which some of my students have gone on to do, then you can literally start earning the $10,000 a month up to 6 and 7 figures per year with this kind of business. So that's what I love, again, about general virtual assistants and offering these kinds of jobs to small business owners, is that this could make you a couple $100s a month, or you could grow it into something that is much, much bigger, which I and many of my students have gone on to do. So you're probably dying, like, what are these services, Abby? What could I actually offer for a $300 a month or a $600 a month package? Service number 1 would be email management. Small business owners need VAs to answer their emails. You are in their inbox, filtering out spam, deleting emails they don't need, and then answering some of the emails that they have taught you how to answer. They'll usually have some kind of a training period to show you these are the emails you answer and these are the ones that you go ahead and escalate onto me. Next would be calendar management and appointment setting. You might still be in the inbox, but when somebody emails in and says, hey, I need a meeting with this person, there'll usually be a filtering system. Does the small business owner really want to meet with them? And then you'll go ahead and maybe send them a calendar booking link or go back and forth to find a time that works with this individual and your client. Data entry, this is simple. It might be in spreadsheets, it might be in some kind of software that they use, but data entry is a skill that is still needed. Yes, even in 2026, or some things that you just actually have to type into the computer. And so data entry is definitely a skill and a service and a job that you would want to consider adding to a general virtual assistant package like we talked about. Travel research and booking. This is something that I even have my VA do for me sometimes, is to look up flights, to look up hotels, to really go out and research maybe when the best time is to fly to a certain destination. And that research and travel booking may be something that you're already doing for yourself or for your family. And yes, you can offer that to small business owners as well. Market research is another one. And guys, I want you to think about this. Anything that a small business owner is doing that is just taking up their time that could be transferred to a virtual assistant is the type of job that you could be doing for them, okay? So every time that they are out doing market research, researching trends, maybe on how to grow an Instagram account or researching the best method to win on LinkedIn, all the time that you're spending doing that for them, it's time that they're not spending doing it so they can focus on the things they need to be focusing on in their business. Survey creation and analysis. You might be using Google Forms. There's software called Typeform. There are different form builders, and maybe your clients need you to build out these forms for their various businesses. Community management. Have you noticed all the communities popping up? There are even entire platforms like Circle or School, or maybe a LinkedIn group or a Facebook group. These need community managers, people to come in and yes, filter out spam, people to come in and manage the community. That might be responding to posts or posting yourself to create engagement inside of the group. I know that we have a group of over 140,000 virtual assistants, and inside that group, we have to have community managers. We have to have, in fact, we have a team of like 20 that are in there actually helping us manage the group. By the way, if you want to join that group, you can go to thevirtualsavvy.com/community. We actually have free jobs, just like the ones I am describing here, posted in this group literally every single day. You can totally join for free. File organization. Oh my goodness. Are you the kind of person that looks at a messy Google Drive and goes, I can fix that? Then this might be a job or a skill that you could do. And the last would be email organization. A little different than email management, right? That would be kind of answering the customer service emails. But if you can go in and just like you organized that Google Drive, if you can go in and create filters, create folders, for a small business owner and really give them a good system for answering their emails, that this is a really, really highly valuable service or job as well. Okay, so this really covers that administrative bucket, right? But maybe you're more of a creative person. Well, there are so many different types of services that you can offer as a creative entrepreneur that small business owners are willing to pay for as well. This might look like blog writing. Now, traditional blogs aren't as popular as they used to be, a blog on a website, but there is blog style writing still happening. A lot of times it's happening on LinkedIn or Substack. And so if you can come in and actually write this content for the small business owner, that can be a really, really valuable skill. Next would be graphic design. And this doesn't have to be super impressive graphic design, guys. People need simple images. If you've used Canva, right? Small business owners need people to take over that creative process for them, especially if they are not naturally creative or graphically inclined themselves. Newsletter creation is another one. I know that here at the Virtual Savvy, we put out a weekly newsletter, and I have a team member that helps me compile that information, write it out, make sure all the links work. There's a lot of work that goes into putting out a weekly newsletter. So maybe somebody that you follow, a business owner, has a weekly newsletter. Be interesting to inquire if they need somebody or already have somebody that helps them out with that. Or maybe there's a small business owner that doesn't have a weekly newsletter that you think, oh, this would be such a huge asset to their business. You could go ahead and do a little value first, create a mock newsletter for them, send it out to them and say, hey, would you ever consider offering something like this in your business? This is actually a service that I now offer. Next would be social media content creation. Now, this could be more broad. Maybe you're a general social media manager and you cover multiple platforms, or maybe you are more niche down to one specific platform like Instagram, or that you teach people how to really post well on LinkedIn, and that becomes kind of your expertise, your specialty, right? But from day one, you can do at least the simple things like taking the social media off of their plate that they're already posting, right? Like if they already have a system for how they're posting social media, you can just take that off of their plate. Maybe they create the images and then you schedule it out for them, because that is a little bit of a tedious task. So again, these are easy, low barrier ways to start making money for yourself at at night. Which brings me to Pinterest management. I love Pinterest because it is the perfect type of job that you can do with flexibility. A Pinterest manager essentially will create pins, maybe leading to a website or a blog post or a YouTube video or whatever type of content. They will create pins for that, right? So it's a lot of working inside a Canva and then scheduling out those pins. What's so cool about this is that this could be done at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Any of these jobs that I'm talking about here don't necessarily have to be done throughout the weekday hours or times. They literally can be done in the evenings, in the weekends, because that's the flexibility of owning your own business. That's the flexibility of offering a service like this. Maybe you schedule the emails to your clients to go out the next morning, but the work you actually do can be done entirely at night, which I think is so cool. All right, so these first 2 buckets are really low barrier to entry. And that's because I wanted to start you out with jobs that you could start doing pretty much right away. I mean, answering customer service emails, scheduling out somebody's social media. Guys, you can do this likely already or with a quick YouTube tutorial to teach you how to do it. I mean, these are the type of jobs you can do at night on your own time with the skills that you already have. And often these are gonna earn you between $30 and for some of those creative skills, up to maybe even $60 or $75 an hour. But I wanna share with you a few more specialized skills. Now, again, these do take training. These aren't something that you're gonna be able to do right away, but I want you to see, once you kind of get into offering services online, you're gonna see, wow, there is more opportunity. And if I learn a higher level skill, then maybe I could even raise my rates to $100 per hour or more. So some of those skills could be things like proofreading and editing. Now I'm seeing less proofreaders being hired for, just blog posts and things like that, but especially for books. So if you are a proofreader and you can come in and actually learn how to proofread somebody's novel or biography or, nonfiction book, that is a high level skill and service that you can do completely at night on your own time. And that can definitely charge into the $100 per hour or more. And the next would be video editing, another high level skill that yes, you need to learn how to do, but can garner $100 plus per hour and can be done completely on your own time. Podcast editing and management, guys. There are podcasts popping up all the time. And there's a lot of work that actually goes into creating and publishing a podcast. So maybe that is taking a YouTube video and repurposing it into a podcast for the small business owner, which again, talking about value first, you could reach out to YouTubers who don't have podcasts and offer this service, guys. Such a goldmine. Or maybe it is just a recorded podcast and then you go on and edit that podcast for them, create the podcast art, actually publish the podcast itself or do show notes. All of these things can be done in a flexible schedule and are really high value packages for that small business owner. The next would be PR and outreach, right? Getting your clients on podcasts or maybe getting them some kind of media coverage. This is an awesome high value package. Most of the time, guys, these are just happening via email or via a site like Haro, right? H-A-R-O, help a reporter out. You can go and you can submit your clients on sites like these, and that can be done again 2, 3 a.m. I don't know who's staying up till 2 or 3. When I work at night, it's only till like 10. I can't do the super late night hours, but you do you, boo. The next would be website design and maintenance. What I think is so cool about web design is that there are so many like drag and drop builders now. So Squarespace has them, WordPress has them. If you use something like Elementor, you can drag and drop and create really amazing websites that you can sell for thousands of dollars. You guys, small business owners need websites or they need updated websites because theirs are terrible, right? And so if you have one website that you do once a week at night, I mean, that could be $2,000, $3,000 for you, depending on the type of site that you offer. And then the last would be bookkeeping. And many of my students end up, maybe they have a background in bookkeeping or they learn bookkeeping. And this becomes, again, one of those reoccurring packages that I think is really cool. Some of my students are charging $300, $600, $900 a month, and it simply takes them a few hours in the evening to reconcile those accounts and send over the books every single month. So those are the 20 work from home jobs that you can do entirely at night. I want to know in the comments below, which one sounds the most appealing to you? Are you more of that admin type? Do you see yourself drawn to the creative services? Or maybe you want to go all in and learn a specialized service so you can charge top dollar. I want to know which one appeals to you most in the comments. And I promised you at the very end of this video, we were going to talk about how to actually get clients for these services. Because again, you can have the service, you can learn the skill, but if you don't know how to actually get paying clients, it's not really gonna hit those goals that you were trying to achieve. So I've created a free webinar just for you. You can go to thevirtualsavvy.com/BBO if you wanna check that out. All right, that's all I have for today's video. I'll see you in the next one.